imagination of many men.
Yes, school and there are 50 miles. And Ron.
An atomic-powered spaceship is the obvious answer. Our journey begins. Our speed has increased to 75,000 miles per hour. The final descent to the Martian surface. This is a crucial moment. When Earthman finally walks upon the sands of Mars, what was included in this mysterious new world? Will any of his conceptions of strange and exotic Martian life prove to be true? In solving the enigma of the red planet, man may find a key that opens the first door to the universe.
After all these years, it stood up pretty well. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I think it was a great example to us of, as we were talking, what we should be doing now is working together to get those kind of things out broadly. So going on beyond that into the Apollo era, this was one I came across I thought was pretty interesting. This was the front page of the report that was put together by General Electric Corporation for NASA. And you can see some familiar things like the George Marshall Space Flight Center in Huntsville, Alabama. The date, June 1966, I think 2 days prior to that, I was at the Indianapolis Zoo celebrating my 7th birthday, riding the train around the zoo. So obviously it's been something we've been thinking about for a long time, and you can see again the same theme here, electrically propelled cargo vehicles. And this one was actually looking at beyond Apollo just in terms of sustained lunar presence. So this was just a supply ship to go back and forth to the moon. And let's see. This is what that looked like. Now in that first one, starting in the 50s and going into the early 60s, the concept for power was completely focused on nuclear. So both the electrically propelled vehicle and the nuclear thermal rocket used nuclear power. Part of that was that solar power technology had not advanced very far at that point. This is the first one I was able to find where they actually started looking seriously at big solar panels as the power source. And so you can see here the concept again. Let's see, this would be a modified derivative Saturn V, I believe. They had a concept for both how they would go on the outbound journey, and then it would stage off, and they would have another one for bringing it back, and then they had, of course, a lander. And so here's and they did trade off. This is actually, this version here was another nuclear reactor. These conical shapes are pretty common in space nuclear reactors, where the reactor is actually this tiny little sort of trash can size thing out here at the end. And then these are the radiators, again, to get rid of the waste heat. One of the things, the problems with nuclear electric propulsion is that you have to get rid of a lot of waste heat. And radiators almost always drive the volume and mass of the design like that. This was the solar concept, and it was similar, except, of course, they had this large, unfoldable solar panel that they could use to generate the power. So really interesting. The other thing I noticed about this one that struck me right away was the fact that they had to have one separate set of thrusters for the outbound journey and another one for the inbound journey. And some of you that went to JPL yesterday